From AfterBuzz TV's Chief Operating Officer Phil Svitek comes a weekly digital series that shares his insights, concepts, and findings from years of learning and mentorship. Welcome to Phil Svitek Podcast.
Another week, another lesson. But first, allow me to welcome you to my series. And for those uninitiated, thank you for tuning in. My name is Phil Svitek, AfterBuzz TV's Chief Operating Officer, and have been since inception back in 2011. I helped turn AfterBuzz TV into the global leader in TV discussion it is today. And thanks to that journey, I've learned a lot, which I gladly share with you weekly here. Today, I want to talk about talent. What is talent? For the longest time, I defined talent as a skill set. And by the dictionary's definition, this is exactly what talent is, a skill set, or sometimes referred to as a gift. I really like the term gift because a gift implies something outside of yourself. Whatever you believe, whether that be God, universe, or otherwise, has handed you a certain amount of ability to do a particular activity exceptionally well. Notice the words "to do" in that sentence. During my years with AfterBuzz TV, I have seen my fair share of very skilled hosts, from WWE's Kathy Kelly, Fox's Ebony K. Williams, Us Weekly's Jackie Moran, E! correspondent Mari Henderson, Reel's host Daryl Kristen, Access Hollywood Live's AJ Gibson, and hundreds of others. I'm blessed enough to be part of each of their beginnings. And what they all have in common is the fact that they worked. They were gifted with something and honored those gifts by applying them wholeheartedly every single week. I'm also unfortunate to have seen my fair share of very skilled hosts who never use their gifts. Once in a blue moon, when this type of person does a project, he or she will do it so well that you're left stunned, making those around them seem silly by comparison.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
The travesty is that the gift this person possesses is not put to use. Anything in life that isn't used deteriorates. That's what saddens me the most. That such a gift will go to waste. It's as if the world is getting robbed the chance to be able to experience such a wonder. It's very selfish if you stop and think about it. Artist Pablo Picasso once said, "If they took away my paints, I'd use pastels. If they took away my pastels, I'd use crayons. If they took away my crayons, I'd use pencils. If they stripped me naked and threw me in prison, I'd spit on my finger and paint on the walls." How's this apply to talent? It applies because what Picasso is saying is that no matter what, he'd find a use for his passion and art. He wouldn't let it remain dormant. He didn't need an excuse to be an artist. Better yet, he wasn't going to allow circumstances to prevent him from doing his craft, from honoring the gift bestowed on him. This is precisely what the skilled hosts who never end up successful lack. Call it determination, call it grit, call it passion, whatever you'd like. Either way, it's not there and they're not doing anything with their incredible skill.
The magic isn't happening.
And so because of all of this, I have redefined the way I view talent. To me, it is not a skill set, but rather a process. Only through action can you display the skills you possess. Think about it from this perspective. If talent wasn't a process, why would athletes need to train? They just show up to games ready to play, right? We both know that's not the case. They need to train not only to maintain the skills they have, but also develop them. In the book, The Obstacle is the Way, author Ryan Holiday talks about this notion. He points us to the phrase, the road to success, and says it is just that, a road that must be traveled in order to get to the destination, step by step and day by day. There are no shortcuts. By that definition, you do not get the luxury of choosing when to use your gift and when not to. It's not a light switch that can be turned on and off. It must remain on and active. In a sense, it's a question of figuring out if the thing you say you really want to do is actually what you really want to do, or if it's just something you'd like to be praised for rather than working hard towards it. I've seen plenty of those people. They'll use phrases like, "I want to be famous," or "I want to be the best." These are red flags. Just do it, like Nike says. Don't talk about being the best. Focus on crafting your skills, little by little, until one day others deem you the best. Being the best is not a moniker you get to bestow upon yourself, nor can that be your objective, because it'll never come to pass. In order to be the best, you must work extremely hard. You'll never put in that hard work if you don't truly, truly love it. The people whose greatness we get to witness every day, whether that be athletes, actors, politicians, activists, and so on. We only see the tip of the iceberg. Their greatness lies in the aspects we don't witness. What we see is only the result of their hard work. Interestingly enough, Erwin McManus talks about what it takes to be great on a podcast called Mosaic. It's worth checking out as it approaches the idea of greatness, which is essentially his word for talent, in a different way than I do here. Just know each episode is actually a sermon, so he does preach the word of God. However, if you're someone like me, which is to say an atheist that loves to learn from anyone, then you'll enjoy the episode. What it all boils down to is that you have to step forward and take action, which is another cliche of self-help. But the reason why it's cliche is because it works. Not only does it work, but it is imperative that you do it. You must take action. Figure out what you love and go after it. Don't let excuses get in the way. Don't end up being the type of person who takes their skills for granted and then they go away. Use them. Use them every day. As Stephen King says, in order to be a writer, you must read and write every single day. That's just what it takes. You can apply that sentiment to any activity. Also, as a final thought, sometimes people think that what they're passionate about and what they're actually good at are mutually exclusive. This, of course, depresses them because they feel like they can't go after their dream because it's not the thing that they're good at. This doesn't have to be the case. You can combine the two, usually creating some entirely new path that hasn't yet been trailed. Take, for instance, my role at AfterBuzz TV. I always wanted to do something within the creative space, but I was always more analytical and mathematical in terms of my skills. When I left college, podcasting wasn't even an industry, and thus, when I jumped on board with AfterBuzz TV during the conception phase, I essentially carved out a brand new career, one that didn't exist at the time. Now, my role is commonplace in the podcast space. I'm extremely grateful because I get to put to use my creative passions alongside my methodical thinking. It'd be too much for me to cover the full steps and figure out how to take your passions and combine it with your skills to create your life's purpose. So I'll save that for a later episode. If you'd like to hear it sooner rather than later, all you have to do is jump down in the comment section below and leave a note. Thank you for tuning in. To reinforce the lesson that talent is not a skill set but rather a process, here are a few quotes that speak to the idea that you must put your gift to use lest it go away.
A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Hard work without talent is a shame, but talent without hard work is a tragedy. Talent without working hard is nothing. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. I think we judge talent wrong. What do we see as talent? I think I have made the same mistake myself. We judge talent by people's ability to strike a cricket ball, the sweetness, the timing. That's the only thing we see as talent. Things like determination, courage, discipline, temperament, these are also talent. Before you click away to another one of Phil's lessons, here's a few final thoughts. Number 1, to review this lesson, you can do so by reading the transcript on Phil's website. The link is provided. Number 2, be sure to leave us a comment so we can read your thoughts and respond to any questions you may have for us. Number 3, if you've enjoyed this lesson, please be sure to hit that like button. And also make sure to tell your friends and family about us. You can also support this show on patreon.com/PhilSpeedTech if it doesn't burden you financially in any way. Every contribution is truly appreciated. And it can help defray from the cost of putting this show together, which you can imagine takes a lot of effort. Number 4, to be notified when future episodes release, subscribe on either Apple Podcasts or on YouTube. Plus, the show is now on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and a host of other amazing platforms. All you have to do is click the link to the specific platform that's most convenient to you. Lastly, if you're a new host or a college student seeking an internship in the LA area and would like to join AfterBuzz TV, visit AfterBuzz TV's contact page. A direct link is provided. Or, of course, you can tweet at Phil Svitek or Instagram me at Bonjour Juliette. Thank you so much for watching. I am Julie Bibert, a producer on the show, and we'll see you next week with another one of Phil's life lessons.